everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Mari Takahashi, aka AtomicMari. So, as I was streaming the other day, it came to my attention that this month marks the 1-year anniversary of me regularly streaming on Twitch, which is really fun and really cool, and I'm so glad that I started at all. And I really started because of quarantine, so that is at least one good thing that has come out of this. So yeah, it seemed like a good time as any for a little mood check. If you haven't already, please hit that notification bell. I upload new videos right here every week on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, which include gaming and talk shows, and now this show. So I hope you, come back here every week. Now, let's talk about this past trash heap hellfire of a year, and I mean that both figuratively and literally, because the world really was on fire from devastating wildfires in Australia and Washington state, and not to mention one California fire that none of us could ever forget, which was caused by a gender reveal party. It was the year of murder hornets. Remember that? The Hamilton resurgence, where all of us couldn't stop quoting Hamilton stuff and trying to sing rap it. And the year where everything is cake, including the PS5. I'm sorry, Twitter. God, people were mad about this. Which is also the reason why you can't find the PS5 anywhere in stores. I have eaten the full supply. And the supply chain. You'll never get a PS5. That's that's our reality. And in a year where we all collectively Zoom called each other in pajamas that double as suitable for company now, there was at least some forward movement. I think. I hope. There was. And I suppose in a year where there has been so much loss and disconnection and devastation, the human thing, as in what we humans do best, is to keep going and to keep persevering and continue on until there is some semblance of light at the end of the damn tunnel, because we all need to see some light, man. And I think it's finally starting to shine. Maybe that's why it feels right to make this video now, because there's actually seems to be an end to all this. And I don't know if it's because I'm vaccinated now that I'm more hopeful that normal will really be a thing again, but the end of this pandemic is in sight, man. It is nigh, and holly freaking Luya for that, because I think we all have felt like we need this dub. So yeah, perhaps I have an easier time looking back now that there seems to be a brighter future ahead, so hence this video. I should also say that there are much heavier topics like AAPI violence, BLM, and the staggering number of COVID-19 deaths, including deaths in India, that continue to rise today. This video is by no means to downplay the importance of those topics by not talking about them in this video. I am, however, choosing to not highlight it because of just how significant and sensitive those topics are, and it seems more trivial to speak on them lightly and toss it into a video like this. So as I've mentioned before, this video will not be covering those topics, even though I know that encompasses this past year and how important it is. I think I myself am figuring out slowly how I cope with loss, and if you are familiar with my streams, you've heard me talk about this maybe a couple of times. And to be honest, I haven't even come close to figuring it out. But as the theme of this video seems to be, it is all about moving forward while being able to look back as well. So with that, let's start on this topic. What was one thing about you that surprised you during this past year? Like something you discovered about yourself. Mine, personally, not proud of it, was how quickly I got used to being indoors. Like really used to it. If you know anything about me, in my past, it's that I used to travel for work a lot. Like Peter and I would travel 6 months out of the year at least for work. And like, I loved it. All the plane flights, the delayed flights, being cramped in a small little confined space on an airplane, all of it. I didn't mind it at all. I was like, no problem, bring it on. As long as I was out and about, going on adventures, I was like, let's go. And this year, it was zero traveling, no flights, none of those experiences. And yet, I assimilated to being a homebody like that. I can't snap with my left hand. Like that. That's a little bit better, right? Well, here, I'll go really close to the microphone. Like... Oh, that's much better. Yeah, so like, yeah, I became a house cat in a nanosecond. Like, I thought I was a wild cat. The house cat in me crawled out of me in a second. And I did not know that about me. That it would be so easy for me to change that quickly. These days, like, Peter has to drag me out of the house to even go for a walk. Like, I wouldn't see the sun for weeks in a row if it were not for him. And he's so good to me. Meanwhile, I'm like a damn like rock troll, like hunched over my keyboard in this neon cave, and I could just stay here for too many days in a row. It's not healthy. Do not be like me. This is a precautionary tale, if anything. But that was one thing that surprised me about me. The award for You Were Here Then You Were Gone, however, goes to Quibi, and subsequently my job. Oh, yeah. Man, getting... Oh, now I'm sad. Getting my own show on Quibi was like such a huge deal to me. Like, I really thought that this was gonna be my stepping stone to making it on like network TV or Netflix or Hulu for a hosting job. And like, honestly, like, I really love this job too. The team was dope. The job was fulfilling. The topics we covered were so good. And if you never watched the show, I get it. Nobody had Quibi. I get it. So the show was dope. Like, I would interview people in the gaming sector and people within gaming about a lot of different topics, and a lot of those were really fulfilling topics, like how disabled gamers are not having like the platforms that they deserve to have, how Black creators are not having the custom features and Sims awarded to them, like the way that their community would want to see it in game and stuff like that. And so it was very rewarding as far as the conversations I got to have. So it's a huge shame, not just because it was a job that I had, but really because of the topics that I got to cover. So that was a huge bummer. Yeah, Quibi got wrecked on the internet, man. I mean, people hated that app. Of course, I don't think like their commercials did anything to help. What did they used to say? I'll be there in a Quibi. I'll be there in a Quibi. Like,
where's the car? Greg, where are you?
I'll be there in a Quibi.
A what?
A Quibi. Less than 10 minutes.
they really tried to make it a thing, like a new word, like a new word that everyone would say. It's like, can you imagine if Google had a bunch of commercials shoving, like, just Google it down all of our throats? It would never work. Like, are you atomic? See? You wouldn't use that, right? That was an example of it being a bad thing. Don't use atomic like that. I don't know. Improv. Anyway, it doesn't work. This job, yeah, it did mean a lot to me. And it was job security, and not having it did mess me up for a bit, but it did also remind me of why working for someone else can lead to heartaches like that. It's a lot harder to work for yourself and to like run your own business and stuff like that, but it does at least shield you from feeling like you have no control when someone takes a project away from you. So, sweet job security, how lovely you were, but within a Quibi, it was all gone. Just like all the money in their bank account. There's a lot of money they blew through. Some of that went to me, but not anymore. Anyway, a lot of it went to the Hemsworth brother. Not Chris, but the other one. James? No. What's his name? Steven? Anyway, one of the Hemsworths. I really can't remember. Not Chris Hemsworth. Anyway, moving on. Next topic. What shall we talk about? I think I have had a few glow up moments this year. I went from the iconic purple hair to natural black hair, moved out of state for the first time in my life by moving from California to Nevada. I went from working for Smosh to fully working for myself, and then finally like finding direction and not being in school and now being fully enrolled in acting school. So I think there was a few glow ups there. I'm proud of those moments. But I think the award for it's an award show now. It became an award show. Anyway, the biggest award, no, the award for biggest glow up has to go to my mom, who remains to be my biggest inspiration. Like, she is a motherfucking boss queen, man. Like, she's in her 70s learning how to edit videos and key out green screens to put together a digital version of the Nutcracker for her ballet students, who she still teaches on Zoom every week. In her 70s. She did that. She does that. And what's cool, she remembers when I started at Smosh and when I didn't know how to edit at all. So I would watch these like dinky tutorials on YouTube all the time and stay up till like 6 in the morning, get a couple of hours of sleep, go to work and like figure out how to do all this stuff. And like for real, it warmed my heart when she called the other day to tell me that she gets it and how much she respects the work I put in to learn what I learned back then, because that's what she's doing now. Like, she's watching tutorials on how to edit in Premiere right now. So yeah, I had a real like moment there. You know, I don't know. I don't have the words to express what I'm going through. So I'm gonna express it through memes. We really should learn more words and not just memes. Memes just really convey a lot of emotion, you know? Don't at me. That's how I'm gonna express my emotions. I'm proud of you, Mom. If you're watching this, you probably are. You watch all my videos. Sorry for swearing. All right. I started this video talking about Twitch, and it only makes sense that I end it the same way. I can't express how grateful I am for just how generous and kind and positive the community on Twitch has been, and I so appreciate building this together. And every time there is any sort of community outreach through raids or whatnot, and there's like this sort of like melding of communities that come together, it really like it really melts my heart. I love it. It's such a cool community, and as much as I love the YouTube community, there's something, because of the live format and it being so kind of like, you know, the layers have been stripped away. There's something I really love about it. And the Okami house, you all have kept my spirits so high this year. and it's truly giving me a calling week by week to keep going. So thank you so much. And if you're here from my streams, I thank you, each and every one of you, including the Chaos Kids and even Shelly, despite the many technical debacles and all the awkward moments where you have to go see things go completely haywire and me figure out on the fly how to produce a live show and flounder and swear at things and figure things out. You've been there all throughout all of those experiences, and I just really appreciate it. You've all been my constant this year, and so I can't thank you enough. Oh, and this might be a good time to announce, in case you don't catch my streams and I only see you here on YouTube, that later this month, this ugly mug is gonna be on a Twitch billboard in New York Times in Times freaking Square. I don't know what to expect. It's so surreal. But I am making a trip out there to see it. It'll be the first post-vaccine trip out, and so I'll vlog the whole thing, and I'll show the moment that I see my face on a billboard. Guys, overwhelming. But I sincerely know I couldn't have gotten here without you all. So again and again, I can't even express how much, but thank you. So yeah, on that sweet note, I think I shall conclude this mood check. There were lots of ups, lots of downs, and everything in between, and I'm still trying to figure out the really hard feelings and emotions that I don't quite know how to cope with yet. They're there. I just don't know how to express it yet. I realize about myself that I am very good with keeping the show going, and it's something that's inherently been learned in me. And I think so much of it comes from ballet and from performing, where it's like I can compartmentalize my feelings too well sometimes that I have a hard time unlocking those things. But slowly I'm figuring things out a bit more. And I can't even say it's been over this entire year. It has been more so in the past month that I'm trying to figure those things out. So I'll probably do a follow-up mood check and figuring out how I'm coping with loss, because that is what I'm coping with, but slowly and unsuredly at this moment. But yeah, there's a lot more that I want to talk about on mood check, but I don't want this to run too long. Let's just say that this is the first of many. I would love to know what other topics you'd like for me to cover and what you're wondering about what's going on as well. Whether you've heard it on streams or whatnot, or you're just curious because you haven't caught up and we haven't caught up with each other in a while. Either way, I'd love to hear from you. Leave it in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to hit that notification bell and also follow me on socials to keep in touch. I am dropping new merch next week, so keep a lookout for that as well. And yeah, I will see you soon. Please take care of yourself and each other, and I'll see you next week. Mata raishu ne!